Worth is subjective. I'm telling you, if the edition isn't worth the amount consumers are asked to pay, they won't buy it! There's gotta be a better way to add value. Think! Hey Carl, get me some engineers. And also clear my schedule for the 5th. I want to have a dinner party and I need all day to prepare. Introducing a whole new way to play Nintendo Switch. Our classic 2 to 3 year old games have been adjusted for modern audiences. We took the original game cartridges and made them playable on both Nintendo Switch and Nintendo Switch 2 systems. They now include features such as a whole new color to aid in confusing consumers, bonus content when played on the Nintendo Switch 2 system, higher prices. These are Nintendo Switch 2 editions. This is the Nintendo Switch 2 Editionizer. I'm surprised they managed to build it that fast. This state-of-the-art machine turns anything you put inside of it into a more expensive version of itself. Which in this case means it turns Nintendo Switch games into Nintendo Switch 2 Edition games. If we just put this copy of Tears of the Kingdom in like this, presto! Your money's gone! Plus, it even works on some special editions of games. Although sometimes it doesn't work and just produces butter. Aww. Which is a mistake I will never live down. Please note that the butter isn't compatible with the Nintendo Switch family of systems. The additions to these games vary greatly in both price and value. The Kirby and the Forgotten Land game, for instance, has a new campaign added, Star-Crossed World, where you retread updated levels to find starries. This is a great game for both new and experienced gamers, with the base game being a captivating but moderately difficult adventure, and the expansion offering a more demanding challenge. Kirby and the Forgotten Land, Nintendo Switch 2 Edition, plus Star-Crossed World is a really fun time. On the other hand, Mario Party Jamboree, Nintendo Switch 2 Edition, plus Jamboree TV adds 2 new modes to the cartridge, and ensures that I'll never see the bottom 17% of the cover art. This is the latest entry in the Mario Party series, and features the all-new Jamboree TV expansion. Choose between attractions such as Carnival Coaster, Bowser Live, and those. The Switch 2 camera is great. Best home security system I've ever bought. And Jamboree TV takes passable advantage of its features, such as putting the players' faces into the action, and capturing player movements to interact with the game. This title now also supports Game Share and the Joy-Con 2's mouse mode. And if you feel the urge to play the original game, don't worry, it hasn't been changed even a bit. The handheld mode was stuck in 720p for 2 months. Many of our partners also utilize this technology to upgrade their games, such as Marvelous's Rune Factory Guardians of Azuma Nintendo Switch 2 Edition and Story of Seasons Grand Bazaar Nintendo Switch 2 Edition, or Sega's Sonic Racing Cross Worlds Nintendo Switch 2 Edition. These games have been upgraded to use the incredible power of the Switch 2 to run at 4K, a consistent 60 frames per second, and drastically upgrade their textures. Other third-party games, like Hades 2 Nintendo Switch 2 Edition and Shoot and Order Nintendo Switch 2 Edition, don't just stop at a 4K resolution and enhanced textures, but also offer a buttery smooth 120 FPS mode. Ooh! Ooh! Xenoblade looks alright. The Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild Nintendo Switch 2 Edition and The Legend of Zelda Tears of the Kingdom Nintendo Switch 2 Edition have been upscaled to 4K, and now run at an incredibly consistent 60 FPS. These were the first Nintendo Switch 2 Edition games, so they had to stand out. And they did, with the help of other bonuses. These come in the form of a second save file and the all-new Zelda Notes. Zelda Notes is a service accessed through the Nintendo Switch app on your smart device. It's the perfect guide to 100%ing the wild era of Zelda games, featuring interactive maps that connect directly to your games. This is great for finding Koroks, bosses, and if you're into the series lore, the all-new voice memories. Audio recordings left behind by different characters throughout the kingdom. And locating all of these has also been made easier, with the help of voice guidance, a helpful tool that tells you exactly where to go. I said go down, you idiot! Do you see a Korok here? It's inside of the frickin' rock you're standing on! How dumb are you? Zelda Notes also allows you to share items and auto-build schematics. Here, this is my item box code. Damn it, I left 8 diamonds in there! Animal Crossing New Horizons Nintendo Switch 2 Edition is a smaller upgrade, adding a megaphone for verbally accosting your villagers, as well as mouse controls and a resolution bump. Super Mario Bros. Wonder Nintendo Switch 2 Edition plus Meetup in Bellabelle Park is the largest expansion yet, adding a whole new world, Bellabelle Park, which features multiplayer attractions galore. New combo badges are also making an appearance, helping to shake up gameplay in familiar levels. And what's this? The Koopalings are back and more wondered up than ever. Take them on with the help of Rosalina and Luma, making their first playable appearance in 2D. There's also a Super Flower Pot now. Just goes to show, anything can be a power-up these days. Yeah! Pokémon Legends ZA Nintendo Switch 2 Edition is another perfectly good upgrade, with nothing being changed outside of improving the frame rate and graphics, which now adds even more depth to Lumio City. Well, not literally, but you know what I mean. And last, but certainly not least, looking at you, Jamboree TV, is Metroid Prime 4 Beyond Nintendo Switch 2 Edition. This game sports a quality mode that runs the game at 4K 60 FPS docked and 1080 60 in handheld, and a performance mode, which is 1080p docked and 720p in handheld mode, whilst running at a glorious 120 frames per second. The quick-paced action of Prime 4 demands the highest frame rate available, and with this Switch 2 Edition, it gets that. The upgrade also supports the Joy-Con 2's mouse mode, which just validates the performance mode even further. Well, that's all for the first year's worth of Nintendo Switch 2 Edition games. So remember, if you're in the market for any of these titles, which you really should be, do yourself a favor and buy the Switch 2 Edition, yeah? Now I gotta get back to upgrading. Can't waste money on something that doesn't exist. See, Carl? That's how you market Nintendo Switch 2 Editions! Even people who don't currently have a Switch 2 can see why this is a wise investment. What do you mean, well, what if they already have the Switch 1 versions of the games? Well, they can just buy the digital upgrade pack for, like, at most $20. It's easy, it's efficient, and it doesn't make us as much money, which is why I didn't bring it up. Damn you, Carl!